I'm Laurence Traverso. I'm a songwriter and producer, and today we'll be working at the Strong Room in London, part of the Air Group. And in this, the first of the Frontline producer series, we're going to be looking at how to put together a track based on a brief sent to me by a label or management. We've got just 48 hours to turn around a handful of sample CDs and a few ideas into a track that the label are going to want to run with, and eventually pay your bills. Right, what we've got here, we've got the best of all worlds really. We've got a beautiful microphone, a U87. I'd use one of these, or have we got that? Is that nice and tight yet? We've got a U87 and we've got a Patrick James Eggle guitar. These are gorgeous, handmade, UK luthier, really, really brilliant. Not too many of them are around, so you've got to search high and low, but if you can get a great instrument, and your best recording guitar might be a 30 quid guitar that makes a really good sound. You just got to keep on trying them until you're happy with them. This one records beautifully. Add to the fact that we're going through a Neve desk, and we should be able to get a really, really nice sound without doing too much on the EQ. If we get it right here, we don't have to play in the box. All important, source audio is brilliant. If you can get something really good with your source audio, you don't have to play around and you save a lot of time. Right. We're recording on a loop, so once I go back in there, I'll just make sure I've got my sound right. It shouldn't be a problem. I can sit here, do a few takes, cut those to pieces, stick it all over the record. Let's see what works. Nice. I can't stress enough, getting your source audio here is vital. A good recording is going to save you a lot of work and time in the box. That's not bad, it's going, and we've got the continuous loop going, but I think we could do with a bit closer here, and maybe pointing the sound hole a bit more. The guitar parts will fill out the track, but most importantly, they're going to be adding the rhythm and groove to the tune. So I'll be starting off with some simple rhythmic chops. Then I'll be overlaying with maybe some arpeggiated pick lines. In many ways, this is my favourite bit. Just me, a guitar, and a good line into the desk. Sweet. Nice. Right, that's the guitars done. I think we've got plenty there. That section might work well in the bridge, not sure yet, but nice to have it in the bag anyway. Let's get back in the studio and get some sort of mix together. Okay, so that's the guitars recorded. What we've got now, we're going to have a quick look at our files, which are looking pretty lovely. Nice and steady, not too loud, just good steady waveforms we've got there. We're going to balance them out left and right, maybe add a little bit of middle to them. I've been having a quick listen, but overall not a lot of work to do at all. We get that, sit in nicely, nice clean files, we'll be able to make it sound really good. Well, we can work on this one. Pull that out to the left, let's pull in the right one. We've already got a bit of compression there, and a bit of, as you can see, we've brought up the low mid just slightly, not too much on the treble. Let's bring that back. Let's bring in Acoustic 2 and pan that across to the right. So we've got a nice stereo image, and we've got one, a little bit, there you go, you can see, slightly different sounds, so we've got a nice overall round stereo image. It should a little bit more bass on one, a little bit more treble on the other, as you can see here on the image. We've got a little bit of compression, not too much, not too much. It's nice and punchy. We've got that sounding great. I don't think there's a lot more that we need to do to that. We've got a good signal, good sounding thing. The waveform's looking good. Doesn't have to be right up to the edges. There's this need for a lot of people to get the WAV as big as possible. But if it sounds right, I mean, I'm not saying it should be like minuscule, but if you've got something that fits nicely without peaking, without doing too much, and you can push in the compression, and you've got space to EQ a little bit if you want to, then that's about right. We'll look at the pick guitar. I've edited out my favourite bit of pick guitar here. That's sounding nice as well. I mean, that's sounding beautiful. I'm not thinking I need to do... Okay, so I've EQ'd a teeny bit. same as before. EQ to what's feeling right. You can't actually guarantee and say, this is right. There are processes that everybody goes through, but you know, you can't say one way is more correct than another. Just do what's right with your ears. There's different ways you can pick up tips, but if it sounds right, go with it. So what we've got here is a U87. We'll be touching upon the difference between a U87 and a 103. Pretty much to the naked ear, you're not going to be able to notice the difference. If you're going through a nice preamp, what we've got here is a Neve 60 desk. It's brilliant. I mean, my preference would be going through a Neve sidecar into a SSL, but this is absolutely beautiful. We've got some great vocals and the guitar's sounding really warm, nice bit of top end there without really having to do a lot on the preamp. I would probably buy a 103, a Gemini and a match pair rather than one U87. I mean, if you've got 10,000 quid, buy a pair of these and spend to your heart's content. But money, especially if you've got a studio, project studio, I'd be looking at a 103, a Gemini, some variation in what you've got. You can actually get really, really good results with a 103 rather than having to spend the whole hog on a U87.
No matter what instrument you're recording, getting your source audio is key. More work on the front end means less work in the box. A clean line into the desk or preamp is vital. Don't run too hot or you'll find your WAVs clipped and impossible to process.
Join us next time for another Frontline producer series where we hope to get the best out of a big rig like this or your home studio with a couple of tricks from myself or someone else. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.